Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to give you some tips on how to become a model and how to start your modeling career. And this is a video that I'm super excited about because I get asked this question all the time. And I always have to stop and think about to answer this question because I started modeling 13 years ago. And things were very different at the time. And today, there's so many ways in which you can become a model. Okay, so my number one tip is the easiest way to become a model if you don't want to do anything, it's to be scouted. And I know this is something that happened less often today. Like back in the days, it used to be very common to be scouted at a shopping mall or in your hometown. But today it happens less often, but it does still happen. Like I know agencies have scouters who go on trips, who are always watching on the streets, but most importantly, you can also get scouted on social media. I know for a fact a lot of agencies have their own hashtags that they're using and that they're telling you to use in order for them to find you through Instagram, TikTok, etc. So you can definitely get scouted through social media. And my advice on that is to keep your social media open, build your image, post your photos, post your personality on social media, and do use hashtags from the agencies that you do want to get signed on. My second tip is to apply directly with the agency. And before you do that, I recommend going to models.com and searching for good agencies around you, and that could be your hometown or maybe the city that you want to live, like New York City, Los Angeles, Milan, Paris. Go on models.com, search for agencies in that city, look at the reviews, look at the models that they have on their board. Really do your research before you decide to apply for an agency. And then once you decide the agencies that you want to apply for, I recommend applying for several agencies. You go to their website, and most agencies have a section on their site where you can apply to become a model. So for example, my agency here in New York City, Elite, they have an area on their website that called Become Elite that you can apply to become a model. And you can, of course, put all your contact information, your name, your Instagram, your email, post your photos, your digitals in there. And I'm gonna talk about digitals in a second, but yeah, you can fill out all your information. But something that's very funny and very different from the time when I started modeling is that you can really talk about yourself in those applications. You can talk about something that you're passionate about, something that empowers you, and I find that so fascinating. And like back in the days when I started modeling, I didn't have to think about those things. So that's why social media and having a good image on social media today, it's very important if you want to become a model too. And when it comes to answering questions like this, you kind of already know how to answer them and what you're passionate about and what empowers you. And then my third tip, before you apply for the agency, you have to have good digitals. And digitals is just like simple photos that you take wearing minimal to no makeup. I like to go no makeup when I do my digitals. You take photos on a blank wall. They usually specify the kind of photos that they want, like the front shot, side shot, a close-up, profile, photos that would show who you are in a natural state. So definitely I recommend no makeup. Definitely wear something that shows your body, but that also shows your personality. But also don't overthink this, because this can just be like simple digitals, photos that you take with your iPhone. I know myself, sometimes I even ask my mom to take digitals for me on like a blank white wall. Ford, for example, like if you go on their website, you see Ford's tips to getting scouted. Have a clean face, absolutely no makeup, pull your hair back, and wear a form-fitting outfit like skinny jeans and a dark tank top. We need to see the shape of your body. You know, every agency is kind of different about how they go with the application process, but do go on every agency's website and look at their tips and look at what they're looking for and look to see if they have hashtags. If you can, build your portfolio before you start applying for agencies is definitely helpful. This is not a requirement, but let's say you want to get signed with the agency in New York City, it would be definitely helpful to know, or for the scouters to see some photos of you and that you're comfortable in front of the camera. Perhaps you already worked as a model in your hometown or in your life before. If you can, build your portfolio before you apply for the agencies or during the process, or in the beginning in general, or even myself, I'm always building my portfolio. I definitely recommend doing that. And this is something that kind of became so easy now with social media, because you can literally just post a story, ask photographers or ask makeup artists who want to build their portfolio also and that would like to do test shoots. If you're already a model, you might already know some photographers, or if you follow models and you're just starting, you might already see some photographers on the internet that you will want to shoot. You can always message them and ask for a test shoot. But again, I just want to reinforce that this is not always the case. Like, you don't have to have a portfolio before to start modeling. And I know for a fact that agencies are always looking for new faces. They're not only looking for models who are experienced already. For example, I know Vogue just had an open casting call where they were looking for new faces on social media. So it's definitely not a requirement that you already have experience with modeling in order to become a model. My next tip is, it's not a requirement, but it's something that I definitely recommend, which is to have a model agency. A model agency, for those of you who don't know, it's the agency that kind of acts like your mother and acts as this middle person between you and your agencies. They're usually connected in the industry already. They already have contacts from agents across the world, and they can definitely facilitate the connection between you and the agency. Your hometown might have a model agency. You might know model agencies already if you want to be a model. And I definitely recommend having one, because the process of connecting with the agency becomes much simpler and easier. Like, agencies receive so many applications every day. Sometimes they might not see your application, but having a model agency, they already know somebody from an agency. It's definitely something that I recommend, and it's definitely helpful. So in my case, the reason why I started modeling was because of my mother agency. They had the connections with the agencies in Asia, and I went to Asia for the first time. I would never be able to do that by myself if I didn't have a mother agency. But also, you know, they also had the connections with the agency here in New York. So when I did move to the United States, they already knew somebody from all the agencies that I wanted to visit. You can definitely find model agencies online. You might already know they can be from a small town, they can be from everywhere, really. They're usually everywhere, they're usually online. If you follow models on Instagram, they usually post their model agency in there. Take a look, reach out. My last tip, and it's kind of more like an advice, don't worry about rejection. You're going to get rejected many times. You need to be able to build a thick skin for rejection. Don't let that first rejection stop you from being a model. I recommend applying for all the agencies that you can. I recommend applying for all the cities that you can. Do not give up just on the first try, on the first city, on the first agency that you apply for, because in order to be a model, you need to have that flexibility. And in order to be a model, you need to be able to take on rejection, because you're going to be rejected more times than you're going to be accepted. That's just how it is. Like, I received more no's than yeses. When I first came to New York City to visit the agencies, I came like 2 times. I got rejected all the time. They didn't want to side with me. So I went back to LA. I worked there for like 6 months, and then I actually ended up being scouted through social media where agent Wilhelmina messaged me directly on Instagram and they're like, hey, we'd love to meet you. So it's all about timing, patience, and learn how to deal with the rejection. Just because you got rejected from an agency once or twice or 3 times or 10 times doesn't mean that you're not gonna be a model. Keep trying. And I didn't talk about this, but if you want to be a model and you have no idea how to start, of course you can watch a million YouTube videos, but you can also just ask models on social media. I always answer people whenever they ask me about modeling, about how to start in the industry, so that's definitely something you can do too, on top, in addition to all the other things that I talked about today. And I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know if you have any questions, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.